Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is me, Frenchie. I hope you are all doing well on this cold morning. Got another tactic video today, thanks to a suggestion from Bayern. I hope I've pronounced that right. If not, I apologise. Obviously, Bayern Munich's Hansi Flick tactic. Bayern Munich then last season were one of the most dominant teams in Europe, winning the Champions League and Bundesliga. So this team then is tactic, rather, relies on a lot of PIs as opposed to positional play. General positional play, that is. So we are going to start off. The shape is usual back five with Kimmich, Goretzka in the centre of midfield, two wingers in Sane, Müller, and then two strikers as Lewandowski, if we ignore his injury, and Gnabry to start. The general team tactical style is an attacking mentality. You're going to have it wide, pass into space. You could also put focus on the left and work into box if you find you're struggling. Extremely high tempo, slightly shorter. Could also change that down to shorter if you feel like you're struggling and losing possession a lot. In transition then, counter press, counter distribute quickly from the back, take short kicks. Obviously, this usual kind of setup for a counter-attacking, pressing, gegenpress style side. And then out of possession, very high, much higher line of engagement and much higher line of defensive. Extremely urgent pressing, preventing short keeper distribution, tighter marking and staying on feet to ensure the pressing. And by the way, this press is unreal. There'll be a few clips to demonstrate just how good that pressing is. But now for the most crucial part, the player instructions. So we have Manuel Neuer in net. Obviously he is going to be on his sweeper keeper position on attack. Not really much to change there. In defensive mid. Swing goal then is Manuel Neuer. He's going to be on his sweeper keeper player role. Not really much change to him. Obviously, no, it's his role. He is one of the world's best sweeper keepers. So you don't really need to change too much. In centre back partners, I've got Süle and Alaba. Süle is a ball-playing defender with mark-specific positions. So one thing you will notice is every single position marks specific positions or players. You can obviously make changes if you want. The download link will be in the description as usual. But every single position of my team marks specific positions of the opposition team, because that's how Bayern sets up, with a man-to-man press. So Süle marks specific position. His specific position is striker. You could also, if it's one striker system, you could change it so that one centre back marks the attacker, one marks the centre mid, the attacking mid, my mistake. But I've got it so that they both mark strikers because there's a lot of two-striker teams in the Bundesliga. Wing backs then. This kind of mirrors, as you can see. Get further forward, stay wider. You can have dribble more. It was quite good for if you want to get a lot more width in the team and a lot more attacking fullback. And his specific position is attacking midfield left, or either left midfield winger kind of position. And then just to show you, as you can see, the other side is identical in terms of setup, with marking on the right hand side obviously and staying wide again. One of the most important roles is Joshua Kimmich, who is one of perhaps the world's best, certainly the world's top three in terms of sitting defensive midfielders. We have him on anchorman, where he'll hold his position, standard pressing, marking tighter. He does mark the attacking midfield, but you could leave that off if you wish, and he'll just guard that area, take fewer risks, you're less often, just pretty standard for the position. Next up is Goretzka on ball winning midfielder, but you could play around with this. You could use him as a deep line playmaker on defend, mark tighter, mark specific position, his specific position being a centre midfielder. Again, you could leave that as none. The two midfield roles don't really have to mark specific positions, but if you are finding yourself being stretched a little bit, do that. The forward line, obviously perhaps one of the most potent attacking forces in Europe last season, with the addition of Sane this year. So we'll start with him. He's going to be on inside forward on attack, marking tighter, marking specific position of the defensive right back. You could change that again to wing back if need be. Thomas Müller then, obviously he usually plays in the midfield, but you'll see how this role allows him to drift into the midfield anyway. So it's Thomas Müller then on the right hand side. Obviously he usually does play through the right hand side, and which is why we've got this kind of asymmetric triplet here, because the ROM data will allow him to drift in midfield As you can see, sit narrow, moving into channels, roaming from position are 3 of the key parts of his set PIs. His specific position will be defensive left back. I do that because I have Gnabry charged down the centre backs and Lewandowski charged down the centre backs, so it works out quite well. You could take more risks, dribble more, depending on how you want to use him. Next up is Serge Gnabry. As you can see, he is on the false 9 again, roaming from position, so it allows him to drift. This is kind of used as my own version of an inside forward. Obviously, he'll stay wider. He will move into the channels and roam from position, but he will press that centre back, which is what we want. And he scored a lot of goals, got a lot of assists this season too. And then finally, the man of the moment, Robert Lewandowski, top goal scorer last season in the Bundesliga, top goal scorer for us in this season, playing on the pressing forward and marking specific position being the centre back on the right hand side. But you could change that. In fact, I am going to change that. It should be on the left hand side, so that'll be sorted for when you come to download it. So then, looking at how we got on this season, as you can see, we stormed to the league, not a team even close, with a 13-point gap. You can see that Robert Lewandowski getting 33 goals in all competitions, and he didn't even start that many. He had an injury which left him out for a few games. As you can see, 32 goals, 32 appearances, 18 goals, a goal every other game. Actually more than a goal every other game, plus 8 assists. Astonishing return from the 32-year-old. And Leroy Sané absolutely stealing away with the assist. 14 goals, 10 assists in 27 league games. Absolutely astonishing player on that inside forward. So then when we look at the squad stats, you can see a lot of goals in this team, with 4 players getting 20 or more this season and 5 getting double digits. 25 from Serge Gnabry, 21 from Thomas Muller, 20 from Leroy Sané, and 33 in 47 from Robert Lewandowski. As well as some excellent attacking output numbers in terms of assists, with 5 players again getting double-digit assists and a lot of players getting above 4. In terms of competitions then, not the most successful, sadly. We did have a bit of a tricky time and we stormed to the Bundesliga. Sadly, we were knocked out in the Champions League by Manchester City. If we have a look at the stages, you'll see that when we go to the quarterfinals, knocked out quite convincingly, really. A lot of injuries hampered us in the latter stage of that season. But when we look at the knockout round, we did humble Porto 8-4 after a 6-1 win, before eventually losing to Manchester City. And in the group stage then in the group stage, as you can see, finished second of our group with a little bit of a tricky time, just about scraping through, but we did get a 6-2 win, along with a lot of draws. One thing I would say is perhaps upgrading our defence. Our defence struggled. I think the ageing of Alaba and Boateng cost us a little bit at times. So if you were going to do this, I'd suggest maybe bringing in a centre back, a left back, or just solidifying and bringing more pace into that back line. So you can see then with attacking, it is a 4-2-4 almost, or sometimes even a 2-4-4. As you can see, we get a brilliantly worked goal for Sané. But I want to show you what happens after this. Straight from the kickoff then, you'll see just how intense the press is, and within seconds we win the ball back, we play it forward, and we look to attack again. And almost immediately you can see, if I pause it here, you can see it's that triangle of Kimmich, Süle, Alaba, the width coming from Davies, Pavard, Goretzka being the man that will run across field, make the space, while the 4 forwards, you can see this another triangle here between the Coman, Muller and Gnabry, providing the attacking width with Sané. And that's where Sané's assist came from, is he'd attack from wide, bring it in, and you'd have 3 players on the ball to attack it. So defensively then, you can see there is a clear 4-3-2-1 shape. Drop very condensed into that middle third of the pitch to stop a lot of space for over the top balls. Within, like I said, you might need to invest in a bit of pace in defence, but that is the defensive shape the team went with. So then there is the Bayern tactic. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it works for you. Let me know how you get on with it in the comments below. The link for the download will be in the description as always. A little bit different, not the usual kind of tactic, but one that can bring you success nevertheless, especially with this Bayern squad. It was made for this Bayern squad. You could try and apply it to other teams if you've got pacey wingers, pacey fullbacks, a good pace in the centre back positions to deal with the high line, then it will, I'm sure, bring you a lot of success. If you like this video, then don't forget the like button, click subscribe, click that notification bell so you know when new videos go live. Join the Discord, follow my Twitch, Twitter, links are in that description for that. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.